Have you ever felt an inexplicable shift in your partner's behavior? Like a subtle storm brewing in the distance. Something feels off, yet you can't quite put your finger on it. What if that nagging doubt in the back of your mind is right? What if she's on the verge of betrayal? Today, we delve deep into the unmistakable signs a woman might exhibit before she cheats. This isn't about paranoia or wild accusations. It's about reading between the lines, understanding behavior, and protecting your heart before it's too late. The emotional void. One of the earliest signs that something may be amiss is an emotional disconnect. Relationships thrive on communication, intimacy, and shared experiences. But when someone's emotional investment begins to wane, it's a red flag. She may seem distant, disinterested, or even irritated by the things that used to bring her joy. Conversations feel hollow, as if she's physically present but emotionally absent. Perhaps she doesn't ask about your day anymore, or fails to remember important details you've shared. These changes often start subtly and grow more apparent with time. Imagine this scenario. You used to sit together for hours, talking about anything and everything. Now, those moments are replaced by awkward silences or superficial exchanges. This emotional void can often precede infidelity because it creates space for someone else to fill the gap. People seek emotional fulfillment, and if she's not finding it in your relationship, she may look elsewhere. Sudden focus on self-improvement. A noticeable shift in self-presentation can also be a warning sign. Maybe she suddenly starts hitting the gym religiously, buying expensive clothing, or experimenting with bold new hairstyles. While self-improvement is not inherently bad, in fact, it can be a positive thing. When it's accompanied by secrecy or exclusion, it may indicate something more. Who is she trying to impress? Why is she suddenly so focused on her appearance? Let's take Sarah as an example. She was a casual dresser, often opting for comfortable jeans and hoodies. But over the span of a few weeks, she began dressing up for work, wearing perfume every day, and even started going to a stylist. When her boyfriend asked about the changes, she brushed it off, saying she just wanted a change. Little did he know, there was a new colleague in her office she had been spending extra time with. These changes often go unnoticed at first, but they accumulate. Pay attention to whether these actions align with her usual behavior or seem out of character. If she's putting in extra effort for someone else, it might be time to have an honest conversation. Guarding her privacy. A woman on the brink of infidelity often becomes more secretive. Her phone, once left carelessly on the table, now feels like a guarded vault. Late-night texts, muted notifications, and a sudden reluctance to share her social media activity might suggest she's hiding something. Privacy in a relationship is important, but when it becomes excessive, it raises questions. Consider this. She used to casually leave her phone lying around, and you could even help her reply to messages. Now, her phone is either glued to her hand or flipped over whenever she sets it down. If you ask her who she's texting, she responds vaguely or gets defensive. This behavior, coupled with changes in her routine, could indicate that she's communicating with someone she doesn't want you to know about. Addressing this issue requires tact. Instead of accusing her, express how her secrecy makes you feel. Creating an environment where honesty is valued may encourage her to open up, whether it's about her doubts, insecurities, or the possibility of someone else in the picture. A new friend. If she starts mentioning a new friend repeatedly, especially someone you haven't met, this could be a sign. She might talk about this person with an unusual enthusiasm or bring them up in conversations for no apparent reason. What's more concerning is if she begins spending time with this friend without inviting you along. This behavior is often downplayed as innocent, but it's worth considering the context. For example, Jessica started hanging out with her coworker, Tom, outside of work. She would tell her boyfriend, Ryan, that they were just grabbing lunch or staying late at the office. Ryan trusted her at first, but noticed her excitement whenever Tom's name came up. When he asked to meet Tom, Jessica became evasive, claiming he wouldn't understand. Ryan later discovered that their relationship had crossed boundaries he was unaware of. New friendships are natural, but when they start to eclipse your relationship, it's time to ask questions. Transparency is key, and any resistance to introducing you to this friend could be a red flag. Unexplained guilt or overcompensation. People who are contemplating cheating often experience guilt, even before they act on their thoughts. This guilt can manifest in surprising ways. She might start being unusually kind or showering you with gifts. While this may seem like a positive change, it could also be her way of compensating for the emotional conflict she's feeling. Picture this. She surprises you with an expensive watch or a romantic dinner, out of the blue. When you ask why, she says, "I just wanted to." While it's entirely possible that her gestures are genuine, it's also worth considering whether they stem from guilt. People often overcompensate when they know they're not being entirely honest. If you notice this pattern, approach it with care. Instead of questioning her motives outright, focus on strengthening the connection between you. By fostering open communication, you can uncover the root of her behavior and work through it together. Picking fights or avoiding conflict. Another common behavior is an increase in unnecessary arguments or an avoidance of meaningful conversations altogether. She might start picking fights over trivial matters or shutting down when you try to discuss the relationship. These behaviors could be a way to create distance or justify her feelings of dissatisfaction. For instance, Lisa began criticizing her boyfriend for things that had never bothered her before, like the way he folded the laundry or his choice of music. On the flip side, when he tried to talk about their future, she avoided the conversation entirely, claiming she was too tired or stressed. These patterns are often indicative of deeper issues. Conflict is a natural part of any relationship, but it should lead to resolution, not further distance. If fights feel like they're happening for no reason, or if she's avoiding important discussions, it's time to address what's really going on. When to walk away. There are times when, despite your best efforts, the relationship cannot be saved. If she's unwilling to communicate, denies her actions despite evidence, or continues the behavior, it's crucial to prioritize your own well-being. Walking away is never easy, but staying in a relationship that lacks trust and respect can be far more damaging in the long run. Leaving a relationship is not a sign of failure. It's a testament to your strength and self-respect. By letting go, you create space for a healthier, more fulfilling connection in the future. Cheating doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's preceded by a series of behaviors that, if recognized, can help you address the problem before it escalates. By staying vigilant, fostering open communication, and prioritizing mutual respect, you can navigate even the most challenging situations.